Thank you, Besfort, and the floor is yours.
Hello, and thank you for being here. Thank you, the organizers, the Faculty of Electrical Engineering. Since the beginning of FLOSS, we cooperated together and we organized too many events here, so it's a kind of pleasure to be back. Just a few words. I think I was nicely introduced, but just two or three sentences to add. I'm part of OpenStreetMap community since 2010, which means I was part of the global community and tried to support them on different levels, from adding the data till to the server side of the infrastructure what's there. My presentation is not too technical, but you will understand some of them during the slides. The first thing, let's start, what is free software? How many of you have heard for free software? Raise the hands, please. How many of you have used free software in general terms? Okay, as Richard Stallman, the person who started the free software initiative, he said that there are four main points of the free software, which are called as freedoms. So the first one, or the zero one, is to run the program. So to have the right to run the program without asking anything, but using that software for your needs. The second one is to study the code or the program, how it's executing, so you will understand how that thing is shared. The third one, or as called freedom 2, is to redistribute copies of that software. So basically you can give to others the software. One thing to mention here, during the years, if you know where Minimax is, we went to buy something in Minimax, and I saw there that VLC media player was burned on a CD, and they tried to sell that CD. So during that, I think it was around 2011-12, when the VLC media player was sold out. It is a free software, so doesn't mean the free software as free or as a free beer. But the idea is that we can use that software for doing even the money selling out the VLC. And the last one is to distribute and to change it based on your needs, basically. Then, what is open source? How many of you know what is the open source? Cool. It started by Eric Raymond. He said that free software it's not enough with the 4 rules, so they decided to do the initiative of open source, which means the only thing that we didn't see in the free software was that we didn't have access directly to the source code. Now with the open source, the idea is that you can publish your code, and then the next person can use it for their needs to make the software better, or better for him to use, for her, sorry. Now to jump, what is FLOSS? FLOSS is an NGO that was founded in 2009. This was the first logo, and we moved to the next one. For understanding the free software, we always use different animals to represent what's the thing behind that. If you know GNU, for example, has the GNU animal. We use Sora. I don't know in English the right name. It's a bird that you can be seen in Prishtina quite a lot. Based on that, we was inspired to use as a logo. How we started? It started by James Mike DuPont, where he sent plenty of emails to different people to try to organize SFK firstly, which is the annual conference of FLOSS. After the pandemic, we didn't organize every year, but the next year is the year where we organize again free software. So Mike sent it out plenty of emails, and then we faced issues because we couldn't organize the conference without the money. So we needed to found an NGO to collect some money and start doing that every year. So yeah, after, as I said before, we organized SFK since 2009. In the first edition, we had around 400 participants from different cities in Kosovo. We had different speakers from Mozilla till MySQL, or I cannot remember all the speakers now. Yeah, so there are two pictures that you can see. The first one was in 2019, and the second picture is from 2014. It was really a pleasure for us to host Richard Stallman, the person who started the free software in the beginning. We had him on 2010 in the Biblioteca, Library of I don't know the full name. National Library. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was fun and it was yeah, stressful. After plenty of years of running the FLOSS without an official, without an office, it was a bit hard. So we decided in around 2014 to run Prishtina Hackerspace. How many of you visited Prishtina Hackerspace before? 4 people only? More. Okay. Prishtina Hackerspace, it's just a house where different hackers get together to do something. When I say something, means from the coding, from open hardware, or even for mapping. And so it's a three-floor building. We have different rooms for different purposes. We organize trainings, we organize meetups regarding the open source in general. The best place for me, it's Prishtina Hackerspace Pub. Why? It's simple, because we try to make our own beer. We failed plenty of times, but it's drinkable. So the idea is that we get together to have fun in the pub and share the knowledge that we collect during the years. So here we try to organize our meetups, which you can see later on the pictures even from the meetups. So what is a meetup? It's that, let's take an example. If we want to do something regarding the WordPress, for example, then people that contribute to WordPress can come and share the ideas during one night. We usually meet every Wednesday, which all of you are invited. Not maybe all of you directly, but we can split somehow. The idea is that every Wednesday we have the open meeting rule, where we go there at the pub mostly. We enjoy rakia and beer as well. And then we talk different technical aspects, but not only technical aspects. Yeah, so for better understanding what I'm talking, you need to come. Let's jump now a bit more technical, where is the field of my work. I said earlier OpenStreetMap. How many of you have heard about OpenStreetMap? Or contributed anything in OpenStreetMap? 2 people, good. I remember you now. OpenStreetMap, it's a huge platform where different contributors from different areas collect different data that are in their interest. Depends on the use. People use for different scenarios OpenStreetMap. And I'm really proud of with the Kosovo community, because we are the first local chapter in the Balkan region. So what is a local chapter? Is a kind of representing OpenStreetMap in your local community. So FLOSS is the local chapter. Based on OpenStreetMap, we did different projects. One of the first ones was Prishtina buses. which we used OpenStreetMap to show the bus lines and bus stops basically, and different information like the price of the ticket and this type of things. If you ask me now technically how you developed, I think it was really not the thing to see on the technical aspect. Why? Is the reason because we had just some small GPS devices in 2012. So we went to the buses directly, we collected all the information because we didn't have from the municipality or government the data. So we stopped everywhere, we collected this data, and then we turned to KML, who understand technically what I'm talking now, as that it's a file, it's not even a database. So then we used open layers just to publish them directly. The second big thing that we did, it was Pumevo 2. Now, the idea of Pumevo 2 in 2013, it was that during that period of time, most of the members of FLOSS didn't know where to go for giving the vote. So basically, we said, okay, we have some open data, let's try to map as much as we can from the polling stations, which in Kosovo are usually schools. And we said, okay, it's important for us to collect the information from the public schools that are in Kosovo. So in 2013, you could write the name, surname, the date of birth, and then the municipality, and it was showing directly where is your polling station. After 2013, also we did a campaign for the persons who were, we knew that were dead, and they was part of that list. So we had a huge list during that time that the government was using after that, this list for filtering the data. One of the things that happened after we published this platform, after 2 years in the next elections, the body who organized the elections in Kosovo was using the same platform because it was published as open source, so they took that platform and integrated on their web page. After some years, they changed even to the Google Maps, which is nowadays are running self with the Google Maps based. One of the biggest things that we did as well, it was that we organized a mapathon where we mapped all the health facilities during the pandemic period of time. So the government of Kosovo opened all health facilities in the public domain. So we said, okay, now it's the time. If people will need this type of data, then we should map them directly to OpenStreetMap. Why I'm sharing this? It's basically for two aspects, because we use map roulette, which is a technical tool that you can place data, and then it depends on the roulette, you will be assigned to a task to map something that is connecting directly there. So yeah, and one of the main things why I wanted to share this, it was that most of the people who contributed came from different areas of the world, so not only Kosovo people map, and it was like 2 hour mapping for us for doing everything on OpenStreetMap. Before the pandemics, if I'm not wrong, 2019 somewhere, we signed an MOU with the Cadastral Agency of Kosovo. They have the system called ARIS, which the system has all the address systems of Kosovo. So we signed an MOU to open this data to integrate them in OpenStreetMap. So this is a map that you can see how was the mapping process. Here we used tasking manager to assign different tasks to different people for an area to map all the names in OpenStreetMap. If you ask me now, is it valid, is it the data correct? I would say kind of. Why? Because since 2019, the address system in different levels in the municipalities, it's changed. So basically we didn't get the new data to integrate that. So how we got the data, it was even funnier, because we got the data within a CD. So we turned that CD to a nice platform that people can find information. What type of application do you use for navigation nowadays besides Google Maps? Only Google Maps? None of you have heard from Maps.me, for example? Do you use Maps.me? When you use Maps.me, all the data it's coming from OpenStreetMap. During years, OpenStreetMap, as I said, it was used for different purposes. Now you have two pictures that Prishtina municipality used OpenStreetMap as a touristic maps. Normally, it's just the design that you cannot see directly the thing. We had a campaign because nowhere was written that the contributors, the data belongs to the contributors of OpenStreetMap. So we had some stickers and we went to all these places and we stick them just to show how the right way of using it should be done. So yeah, we stick them on this just to inform them that the data are from contributors of OpenStreetMap. Now let's talk a bit more technically, because till now I shared what the community did, but let's take an aspect how OpenStreetMap can be used even for the business purposes. I don't know why, but Uber doesn't exist in Sweden, or maybe I'm wrong, but one person contacted us if we can build something for maps, but based on the data of OpenStreetMap. Basically, the idea was to replicate, or to the idea was similar to how the business process of Uber is working, but they wanted to use the data that are open source. So we set up all this in one server. We had an OpenStreetMap database. We copy-paste OpenStreetMap database. We had a shell script where it was around every day for getting the new data that was generated from the community of Sweden to be integrated in that database. Then we had tile map server where all the tiles were published to see the Sweden map. We have nominatum server, which means all the addresses that were integrated it supported to get that type of data. Then OCRM, it's an open source routing machine that helps you to find the best routing from point A to B. And then Photon API, which was just helping for the searches to not be too complicated. This is one of the conferences that we organized in Prizren, in ITP. It was called State of the Map Southeast Europe. The idea is that the community of OpenStreetMap organize every year different state of the maps, which are normally conferences like this. We couldn't win the global edition to organize in Prizren. Then we decided, okay, let's do Southeast Europe. We had around 150 participants that we talked only for OpenStreetMap and GIS in general terms. Now, how many of you have heard about Osgeo Foundation? 1, 2, 3. Okay, Osgeo Foundation, it's till now with OpenStreetMap we talked regarding the data, how many data, the data. Osgeo, to explain to you, it's just a foundation that support us to generate the code that can execute this data that we are collecting in OpenStreetMap. So it's a foundation that has plenty of different projects that you will see them and then you will understand better, I believe. FLOSS is again local chapter of Osgeo. We present them in Kosovo and we try to do different activities for them. This is a list of the GeoServer, of the Osgeo projects. So how many of you have heard about open layers? which is a JavaScript library? None? Okay, if you want to do something on the web with geodata, you need to use OpenLayer. So OpenLayer is one of the projects inside the OSIO. Then we have Leaflet, which is kind of similar to OpenLayers. Or we have GeoServer, which is it's a web server, but that can host or can publish the data to the web. Then we have community projects. Basically, the foundation is giving the support, not only support from the financial aspect, but it's giving in different levels to support them and grow these initiatives. Then we have the community projects that they don't get enough money from the OSIO, but they are based on the community level, so they try to do their own things. If you ever visited, for example, GeoPortal of Kosovo, where we see our parcels or cadastral information, they are using GeoX as a JavaScript library for publishing the data to the web. Let's talk a bit more now how we use this type of things in Kosovo. During the 2014-2016, we developed a spatial planning application for Kosovo. During that time, we didn't plan the urban area, we planned only urban areas, not rural areas. So based on this, we started to develop also in planning processes the rural areas. And with the law, it was requested that we should do a central database where all this data are saved. The second thing, the second big project that we worked as well, it was the cadastral, Albanian cadastral land information system. It was entirely for cadastral, and to do similar as GeoPortal in Kosovo. We had three main things. We digitized cartelas, everything was on paper, basically. The map, as you can see, it was scanned. We had to scan the maps, and all of them should be integrated into the database. I will pause since I'm a bit without the time, so I will share how the architecture of the system looks like in this type of systems. As you can see in the server, usually we use SQL servers like PostgreSQL with the extension of PostGIS. Then we use GeoServer or Map Server for displaying this information to the browser. And then if you need to do something with the data that it's too specific, that you cannot do through the web, then you can use different devices like mobile apps or other platforms like in desktop for doing this type of things. What I'm doing right now is that we had a project with the University of Geography, Department of Geography, University of Prishtina. It's financed by US Embassy and implemented by KUSA. The idea is that we are trying to build a laboratory for research and development. The idea is that if you go to the University of Geography, the students that they are studying there, they are not getting anything from the technical side of the geography, but they are studying just the geography as in general terms. So basically we are trying to organize the nice laboratory where we bought a drone that will fly that drone to collect the aerial imageries, so they will learn how to fly the drone and get this data for the mapping purposes of them. And then this can be all open data, so it can be integrated to OpenStreetMap and used further more. My three last slides. This is the biggest conference that we organized. We had around 800 participants from across the globe. We organized in Prizren. It's the international conference for geospatial again. So it's called Free Software and Open Source for Geospatial. To be part of the community, it's not always the hard work as you have seen here, but it's as well fun. That's me with a cake on the face since we celebrated my birthday during FLOSS4G conference. Thank you.
Is there any question towards Besfort?
As a developer, I'm naturally a really big fan of open source. And sometimes I feel like I want to give back to these incredible projects that I use. My question is, what's a good way to get started with contributing to open source?
If you want to share your own project with the community, then you should just publish an open license and try to involve more people to contribute on the code that you are sharing. Basically, that's the first way. If you want to be involved in one of the projects that someone else ran before, you just go there and try to contribute. Most of the code is in GitHub or different platforms where you can find and try to jump into that project. Based on the technology that you can fulfill I mean, if you are a Python developer, then you find something interesting for you in Python and you start working with that community directly. Thank you.
Did you use the clean architecture that Guri was showing before in your projects?
I'm not sure. Technically, I cannot answer to that. We try to use usually the software that was written by someone before, so we just integrate that thing. So I cannot answer technically on this.
I have a question in regards with the GeoNames database and OpenStreetMap. Do they collaborate together? Like if it's still open source? And is there another way to contribute to OpenStreetMaps?
To give the answer for GeoNames, if I'm not wrong, yes, they are using this type of data, but I will need to double check it if they are still in the same level what you are asking. I'm not 100% sure if they changed the modality. Since different projects, they start in open source and then they go to the different directions. I didn't check GeoNames for years now, so I would need to check and answer to that one. Contribution to OpenStreetMap can be on a level of collecting the data as we talked earlier, but doesn't mean that the contribution can be only the data. But you can go and contribute. If you want to organize a mapathon at the university, then you can start a mapathon here. You don't need to collect the data and integrate them in OpenStreetMap. Just organizing that, it's a kind of contribution.
Besfort, thank you very much. We have a very long cooperation with FLOSS. I'm very happy to see the progress here. Exactly, this auditorium we started in 2009. I'm happy to see the progress of the FLOSS, but also happy to enjoy the products that you're delivering. Let me just here publicly just share a small example of bachelor diploma that used OpenStreetMaps just after you published with the recent data, and the student just immediately after publishing the app, he was called by the municipality of Prishtina how his app has better data than the app that they paid for. So thanks to OpenStreetMaps, the student has been seen by the others and gets a lot of job offers, etc. So thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, Besfort, very much, and thank you.